Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's lecture, we are going to solve one problem on Euler's Brace law principle, in which we will draw the influence line diagram for the support reaction and the external reactions and internal reactions at various points by using the concept of Euler-Brace law principle. Okay, so we'll come directly to the problem over here. Problem is that we are having some continuous beam over here, and in this beam we are having some internal hinges at E, F and G. Okay, so first we will determine whether this structure is unstable, determinate or indeterminate. Okay, so at this point I'm having three reactions. Okay, two reactions only. We are neglecting the horizontal reactions. Okay, at this point only one vertical reaction, at this point one vertical reactions, and this point one vertical reactions. Okay, so total external reactions are 5. Equilibrium equation will be summation m0 and summation Fy0 will be 2. Okay, and 3 more equation I will get from here, E, F and G. Okay, so it will be plus 3. So 5 minus 5 equals to 0. So basically this beam is determinate. Okay, and when we draw the influence line diagram for this beam, it will only comprise of the straight lines. Okay, so let us draw the influence line diagram for the support reaction at B. Okay, first I'll draw some lines over here. Okay, so for first we need to find the vertical, what will be the influence line diagram for the vertical reaction at point A. Okay, so by using the concept of Euler-Brace law principle, when we need to find this ILD for this vertical reaction VA, we need to release that VA reaction, and we need to give a unit displacement along that VA. Okay, or along that force, right? So when we are releasing this thing, we need to provide some kind of an horizontal roller, vertical roller over here, which will be helping in releasing this VA force. Okay, make sure that we are not releasing any moment over here. Okay, so now this beam, now we need to give a unit displacement along this VA reaction. Okay, I'm assuming the VA is acting in upward direction. Okay, so when we are giving this VA, when we are giving the unit deflection along VA, this beam can deflect like this. Okay, at this point E. Okay, but this won't be true. But this is not the ILD for this VA reaction. Why? Because at this point you can see that there is some slope. Okay, but as per the boundary condition at A, we need to have some zero slope. We need to have zero slope. Okay, because there is some fixed support. There is a fixed support at A, which will make this due to which the slope at this point will be 0. Okay, so while drawing the deflection diagram or elastic curve diagram, we need to make sure that deflection at this point should be 0. Okay, so this is the important thing which you need to take care of. Okay, so when we are giving the unit deflection at this point A, what we'll do, I'll simply lift this portion upward. Okay, and to maintain the zero slope at A, this point E will also move upward. Okay, so this is point E, this is point A, right? And after this it will deflect like this at F point. It will come to the F point like this. Okay, this is basically the elastic curve. Now let us suppose what will happen to this portion. Okay, so when we are due to this point G won't come up and down. Why? Because it is restricted by these two supports. Okay, this portion is highly stiff, so this portion won't come down. Okay, so because it is restricted by two supports C and D, right? So this portion will be a straight line. Okay, and this B portion also cannot move it up and down. Okay, and up and down, so it will also remain, it will be also in a straight line. Okay, so you can see that this is point B, this is point G. Okay, so this is the influence line diagram for the vertical reaction at point A. Okay, which means that if you are applying the load over here, the vertical reaction at A will be 0. Okay, this thing we are seeing from the inference line diagram. This is a straight line. Okay, the inference line diagram for the determinate structure will only comprise of straight line. Why? Because when we are releasing one reaction over here, this beam is becoming unstable. Okay, so the unstable beam will only have the straight lines. Okay, only have the elastic curves which will be straight. Okay, there will be no bending, no deform. There will be no bending, no deformation. Only rigid body deflection will be there. Okay. So this is the case for the vertical reaction at V. The thing which we need to keep in mind is that this G point cannot move up and down. Why? Because it is restricted by these two supports. Okay, and this is the highly stiff. This is highly stiff. Highly stiff. Okay. So now this thing is complete. Now we need to find what will be the ILD for the VB reaction. This is ILD for VA. Now ILD for VB. Now to draw the ILD for VB, we need to release vertical reaction at point B. Okay, we need to release the vertical reaction at point B, and we need to give unit deformation along that force. So I'm assuming the vertical reaction at point B is acting in upward direction. Okay, now I have two options over here. Okay, either this beam can deflect like this or it can deflect like this. Okay, point G cannot move up and down. Why? Because these two supports are restricting its movement. So I won't consider this case over here. Okay, so this will be the unit deflection at B. Unit deflection at B. And this is point G. Okay, beyond this it will be again a straight line. This is point F. Okay, so again it will come down. Again this E point cannot move up and down. Why? Because this fixed support A is restricting the movement of E point. Here we have released this VA, so this portion is become unstable. Okay, but here this portion is stable, so it cannot move up and down, right? So this E portion will remain here only. It is restricted by this support over here, so it will deflect like this. So again you can see that it is only comprised of these straight lines. So if the unit load is acting at this point, then the VB will be 0. Okay, and you can easily find this ordinate of this thing by using the concept of the similar triangles. That thing I'm not doing over here. If you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. Okay, so this completes our inference line diagram for VB. Now we will see what will be the inference line diagram for VC component. Okay, that is vertical reaction at point C. Now, to draw the inference line diagram at vertical point C, what we need to do? We need to release a vertical reaction at point C. Okay, and we need to give some unit deformation along this, unit deflection along this C reaction. So let us suppose this is VC, which direction is upward. Now, this D point cannot move up and down. Okay, but cannot move up and down. Okay, so D point cannot move up and down. So deflection at this D point will look like this. This is unit deflection. Okay. Now what about the G point? It will come to G like this. Okay. Now you can see that this G point is moving upward. Why? Because we have released this support reaction over here. This system, and now this portion has lost some stiffness over here. So okay, so this point G can move upward. Okay, this point G can move upward. Now, when this can move upward, to maintain the support reaction, so the boundary condition B, it will come down. So this is nothing but this is point F. This is point F. This is point B. Okay, and at E again, it will come like this. And again, this is again fixed. So E point cannot move up and down. So this is again negative. This is again positive. So what is meant by this positive negative is basically if unit load is acting on this at this point between E and B, then the vertical reaction at VC will be in downward direction. Okay, this positive negative is showing the direction of basically VC. Okay, so you can find the ordinate with the help of here there is unit deformation, unit deflection. So this ordinate is unit. With the help of the similar triangles, you can find all other ordinates of this influence line diagram. Okay, so basically this is the influence line diagram for what? This is the influence line diagram for ILD for VC. Okay, here after releasing this C support, after releasing the vertical direction at C, this member has lost its stiffness, so it can move in a straight line. Okay, now we'll draw what will be the ILD for bending moment, or what will be the ILD for the vertical reaction at point D. Now, to draw the ILD at point B, what we need to do? We need to release this vertical force at point D, and we need to apply the unit deflection along this force. Okay. So when we are releasing this vertical force over here, this is our unit deflection. Unit deflection. Okay. And at this C boundary, it is coming like this up to G point. Again, this G point can move up and down because this portion has lost its stiffness, because we have released the vertical force at point D. Okay, now this is point G. Now at B, it will come like this. To maintain the boundary condition, the sub-boundary condition, maintain the slope at this point theta is equals to this point theta. Both are equal, and this is point F, and this is E point. This is again A point. So again, this E point cannot move up and down. Why? Because it is restricted by this fixed support. Okay. So here this positive, this negative, this positive. So this is basically the deflection ILD for this vertical reaction at point for VD. Okay. Or you can say that this is the ILD for the ILD. This is the elastic curve when we are giving the unit deflection at point D, but by maintaining all the support condition. Okay, so you can see that it is only comprised of these straight lines, right? So this completes the ILD for the support reaction at different points. Now we will see what will be the ILD for this QH and QI point. Now again we'll see what will be the ILD for this shear force at point H and I. Okay, so now we need to draw the ILD for shear force at point H and I. Okay, first we'll draw the shear force for the point H. Okay, so when we are drawing the shear force at point H, we need to release the shear force at this point. Okay, and this is the actual condition where the shear force is acting like this. Okay, and we need to give some unit deformation along these forces. Okay, along these shear forces. Okay, so here this point, this is hinged and this is hinged. Okay, so when we are giving the shear deformation, we are not releasing moment at this point. So one portion will move like this. So this is, let us suppose this is A. This is A by L. So this is nothing but 2 by 4, which is equals to 0.5. And this portion will move upward. And this is again 0.5. So you can see that the total shear deformation is unit. Okay. So this is the shear diagram. This is the shear diagram. This is the shear diagram for the shear force at point H. Influence line diagram for the shear force at point H. This point E cannot move up and down because it is restricted by this support A, and this point is also G cannot move because it is restricted by these two supports, and this B cannot move up and down because it is restricted by this B point. So this will be the ILD for the shear force at point H. Okay, you just need to release the shear force, and you need to give unit deflection along this shear force. One will move in downward, one portion will move in upward direction. So this is nothing but, this is ILD for shear force at H. Okay. Now we'll draw what will be the shear force for point for I. Okay. So we need when we are drawing the shear force at I, we need to release shear force at this point. Okay, and there are here some in actual beam between the shear force. Let us assume it is acting like this. So when we need to give unit deformation along this direction of the shear force. Okay, so this portion cannot move. Why? Because it is restricted by two supports over here. Okay, so it will only comprise of the straight lines. This portion will have only straight line, highly stiff. You can say that, highly stiff. Okay, so when this portion cannot come down, so we need to give the unit deflection at this point also. So this is unit deflection. Okay, and you can also see that we are not releasing moment at this point. That's why this slope at these 2 points are 0. Theta equals to 0, theta equals to 0. Okay, we are maintaining the boundary condition over here. This is the point G. Okay, now at B it will come like this. Again at F it will go upward. This is point E. And this will remain straight. Okay, so this is nothing but this is the ILD for shear force at point I. Okay, we just draw the deflection diagram when we are giving the unit deflection along this shear force. Okay, when we are deflecting it by unit amount, this G point will also come down. Okay, this G point will also come down, because when we are releasing the shear force, this portion has also lost its some stiffness. Okay, that's why this G is coming down over here. Okay, so this covers the inverse line diagram for the shear force and for the H point and I point, and you can calculate the ordinate easily. This is unit again. This theta you can find. Similar, this theta you can find. These both are equal. Okay, this ordinate you can find with the help of Pythagoras theorem or any sine law or this thing, tan's law. Okay, cos law and sine law. Okay, and you can find the ordinate very easily, right? So now next part of the problem will be the moment inference line for the moment at point A, H and I. Okay, now to draw the ILD for this moment at point A. Okay, to draw the ILD, what we need to do? What we need to do is that we need to release the shear force. We need to provide internal hinge or unity, so that we need to release moment at point A. For that, we are providing the internal hinge at point A. Okay, so when we are providing the internal hinge at point A, okay, and let us assume I'm assuming this moment at A is acting like this. Direction is clockwise. So what I need to do is, this is a point H, this is point I. Okay, so what I need to do is we need to release the moment at A. Now I need to give unit deformation along the direction of this MA. So the deformation will look like this. Deflection will look like this. This is nothing but theta 1 equals to unit. Okay, and the boundary condition and maintain. At this point, this portion cannot move up and down because it is restricted by this support, vertical component support reaction at A. Okay, this is point E. At F, now this portion won't deflect. This thing we have already discussed. Okay, so this is the ILD for MA. We just give unit deflection, unit rotation, or you can say that unit rotation along this MA. Okay, but you can see that this value is coming out negative. So if the unit load is acting at this point, the MA value will be negative, means the direction will be anti-clockwise, and this portion will remain straight. So when the unit load is acting at this point, the moment at A will be 0. Okay, remember that. Not remember that, you can see that thing with the influence line diagram. Okay, now let us draw what will be the influence line diagram for the for this MH bending moment at MH. Now, if we want to draw the influence line diagram for the bending moment at H, we need to do? We need to provide some kind of internal hinge at this point. Okay. One internal hinge is at E, one internal hinge at F. So this is H, this is E. So initially I am assuming that the moment is acting like this. Okay. So what we need to do over here, we need to give this unit deformation, unit rotation along this moment. Okay, so this beam will deflect like this, and this portion will remain straight. This is restricted by this support. Okay, again this portion will remain straight, same reason. Okay, so this theta is nothing but this is unity. You can see that there is no shear deformation between these 2 points. We are not releasing any shear force, only we are releasing the moment. So the theta is 1 over here, unit rotation. Okay, so this is the case for this is the ILD for the bending moment at point H. Now we'll draw what will be the ILD for the bending moment at point H. Now to draw the bending moment ILD at point I, we need to release moment at point I. Okay, so I need to give one internal hinge at this point I. Okay, so when I'm assuming this at this I, the direction of moment is acting like the moments are acting like this. Okay, now this portion cannot move, this portion cannot move, this portion cannot move. Same reason, because it is restricted by 2 supports over here. This portion cannot have movement, that cannot have straight lines movement. Okay, it is restricted by these 2 supports C and D, highly stiff. As we know that the deflection diagram only comprises of straight line. Okay, so there won't be any straight line due to these 2 supports. Okay, so now how this thing will deflect? It will deflect like this. This theta is equal to unit rotation. This is point G, and again at the boundary condition at B it will come like this. This is F, and this is E. So this is positive, this is positive, this is negative. Okay. So this is the ILD for MI. This is for MH. Okay. We only thing we need to draw the deflection diagram by giving the unit deformation. Okay, and in the determinate structure we need to keep in mind that the deflection diagram only comprises of the straight lines. Okay, so these all lines are straight lines. Okay, at this point this movement is not allowed because it is restricted by these 2 supports over here. Okay, same things happens over here also, because this thing E cannot move up and down because it is restricted by this support at B. Okay, there won't be any straight line movement, rigid body movement because that rigid body movement is restricted by this support at A. Okay, so this is the ILD for this bending moment for the MI. Okay, so I hope and this thing, the ordinate you can find easily. This is theta 1, so you can find this thing. This is 2 meter, so again this is 2. So this ordinate you can find with the help of the similar triangles. Okay, so so if you have any doubt regarding this problem, you can write in the comment section. Okay guys, so thank you very much.